Welcome to the Dark Sky Dive channel, where today we explore the incredible engineering behind the first mass production of satellite constellations. This is not just a factory, it is a revolution in aerospace manufacturing, turning unique spacecraft into high-volume assembly line products. For decades, satellites were handcrafted artifacts, but now we are witnessing a shift towards the speed and efficiency of automotive production. We are about to dissect the 5 critical stages that transform raw materials into the most advanced communication network in orbit. Forget everything you know about traditional bulky satellites. Today, we focus on a flat-panel design optimized for maximum stacking efficiency. The journey begins with raw materials entering the facility, ready to be shaped by the most precise machines ever built by humans. Every square inch of this facility is designed to optimize the flow of production, minimizing errors and maximizing output speed. Before we reach the stars, we must master the ground game, ensuring every component meets the rigorous standards of space travel. Gone are the days of bus-sized spacecraft. The new era demands a compact form factor without compromising on power or capability. Let us enter the first stage of creation, focusing on the chassis and structure that forms the skeleton of these machines. The foundation of the satellite is built from a specialized ultra-light alloy designed to withstand the brutal forces of a rocket launch. Automated lasers carve out the chassis frame, ensuring that the structural integrity remains high while keeping the total weight to a minimum. Robotic arms take over the assembly, performing riveting tasks with a speed and consistency that no human hand could ever match. Precision is paramount here, with manufacturing tolerances held to 10 micrometers, which is a fraction of the width of a human hair. The flat panel design is not an aesthetic choice. It is a critical engineering decision to maximize the volume inside the rocket fairing. Quality control utilizes advanced 3D scanning to ensure that every single chassis coming off the line is identical to the digital blueprint. Inside the metal skin lies a honeycomb structure, a biomimetic design that offers the best strength-to-weight ratio known in engineering. Automated welding ensures that the joints are fused permanently, creating a single, rigid body capable of surviving the acoustic vibration of launch. Once the structure is verified, it moves seamlessly to the next station, serving as the canvas for the advanced technology to follow. This visual of aligned frames represents the scale of mass production, a sight previously seen in car factories, now applied to space. We now advance to the second stage, the installation of the ion propulsion system, the heart that allows the satellite to maneuver. These satellites utilize Hall-effect thrusters, a type of ion engine that uses electric fields to accelerate propellant at extreme velocities. Instead of traditional xenon, these engines are fueled by Krypton gas, a cost-effective alternative that makes mass deployment economically viable. The fuel tank installation is a delicate process, as the Krypton gas is stored under high pressure to last for the satellite's lifespan. Every nozzle is crafted to exact specifications, ensuring the ion beam is directed perfectly to maintain the satellite's orbit and orientation. Before flight, the engines must survive the vacuum chamber, a torture test that simulates the harsh, airless environment of low Earth orbit. When activated, the Krypton ions glow with a signature blue light, a beautiful visual byproduct of the high-energy physics at work. This blue flame provides low thrust but incredible efficiency, allowing the satellite to make orbital adjustments for years without running out of fuel. Engineers monitor the telemetry closely, verifying that the specific impulse meets the requirements for orbital raising and collision avoidance maneuvers. Once validated, the thruster is permanently integrated into the chassis, ready to push the satellite through the void of space. Stage 3 introduces the most futuristic component, the optical inter-satellite links, commonly known as space lasers, which create a data backbone. These optical modules allow satellites to communicate with each other at the speed of light, faster than fiber optics on Earth. By passing data directly between satellites, the network reduces latency, creating a mesh in the sky that bypasses terrestrial infrastructure limitations. Alignment is critical. The lasers must hit a moving target hundreds of kilometers away, requiring robotic precision guided by artificial intelligence. The sensors installed here are sensitive enough to detect the laser pulse from a neighbor satellite while traveling at orbital speeds. Assembly of these optical units takes place in a specialized zone where lighting conditions are controlled to protect sensitive lens coatings. Even a single speck of dust could scatter the laser beam, so inspectors use microscopes to guarantee absolute cleanliness of the optics. The electronics instantly convert gigabytes of digital information into pulses of light, ready to be beamed across the vacuum of space. Integration involves connecting the optical terminal to the main flight computer, ensuring seamless control over the laser pointing mechanism. When fully deployed, these lasers form a global mesh network, turning the constellation into a single, intelligent planetary computer system. Power is everything in orbit. Stage 4 focuses on the solar arrays, the lifeblood that keeps the satellite's electronics alive. These satellites use advanced solar cells that appear black, designed to absorb a broader spectrum of sunlight for maximum energy conversion. The cells are mounted on a flexible substrate, allowing the entire solar array to be manipulated like a piece of fabric. A protective layer is laminated over the cells, shielding the fragile electronics from the harsh radiation found in the upper atmosphere. When fully extended, the solar array is massive, providing the kilowatts of power needed for the thrusters and laser transmission systems. To fit inside the rocket, this massive sheet must be folded using an origami-inspired technique, compressing it into a tiny volume. Specialized flexible hinges connect the panels, ensuring that the electrical connections remain intact even after being tightly compressed for launch. The folded array is compressed into a dense block, a marvel of packaging engineering that saves critical space inside the launch vehicle. In the deployment test, we see the array unfurl like a ribbon, a mechanism designed to happen automatically once in orbit. Under simulated solar simulators, engineers verify that the power output meets the strict requirements needed to wake the satellite up. Finally, the compressed power plant is mounted to the satellite, ready to expand and harvest energy the moment it leaves the rocket. We arrive at the final and most visually striking stage, the stack. This is how 60 satellites fit into one rocket. The flat panel design allows engineers to stack the satellites directly on top of one another, eliminating the need for a dispenser. There are no heavy frames between them. The satellites themselves form the structure, locked together by tension rods that run through the stack. Like a giant deck of cards, 60 satellites are piled up, creating a dense payload that utilizes every inch of the rocket's fairing. This dense packing capability is the secret sauce that reduces the cost per satellite, making the mega constellation economically feasible. Precise alignment of the stack is crucial. Any imbalance could destabilize the rocket during its ascent through the atmosphere. The entire stack undergoes vibration testing, shaken violently to prove that the satellites won't crush each other during the rocket's liftoff. Unlike traditional deployments that use springs or explosives, this system uses a simple release of the tension rods to free the payload. In orbit, the rocket initiates a rotation maneuver, and the tension rods are released, allowing physics to take over the deployment. The satellites float away from each other naturally, utilizing the momentum from the rotation to create safe separation distances without collision. This unique deployment creates the famous satellite train visible from Earth, a line of lights marching across the night sky. Once separated, each satellite wakes up, unfolds its solar array, and fires its Krypton thruster to climb to its final orbit. Over time, these machines disperse to form a shell around the planet, a testament to the manufacturing marvel we just witnessed. From a sheet of metal to a flat panel chassis, blue ion engines, space lasers, folded solar origami, and a vertical stack. This factory never sleeps. The production line continues to churn out these technological marvels at a pace history has never seen. Behind the robots and lasers are the minds of engineers who dared to rethink how humanity builds infrastructure for the stars. This mass production approach has slashed the cost of access to space, opening doors for new economies and global connectivity. As we watch this satellite soar over the horizon, we are watching the result of a manufacturing philosophy that prioritizes speed and scale. It is not just about the hardware. It is about what the hardware enables, a world where information flows freely to every corner. And this is just the beginning. Future launch vehicles will carry even more of these flat-packed machines, accelerating the timeline. Every unit that leaves this factory carries the ambition of a species ready to become truly spacefaring, through industrial innovation. We have seen the future of aerospace manufacturing today. It is fast, it is automated, and it is happening right now. The constellation grows larger every day, a testament to the power of assembly lines applied to the final frontier of space. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the factory. This is Dark Sky Dive, signing off until the next discovery. Let us take a deeper look at the ceramic components in the thrusters designed to resist the intense heat of plasma generation. These advanced ceramics can withstand temperatures that would melt standard metals, ensuring the engine does not destroy itself during operation. Krypton is a noble gas harvested from the atmosphere through a complex distillation process, making it a sustainable fuel source for space. Hardware is useless without software. Engineers upload autonomous collision avoidance algorithms that allow the satellite to fly itself safely. This autonomy is crucial because, with thousands of satellites, human operators cannot manually control every single dodge maneuver required in orbit. The bottom of the chassis acts as a phased array antenna, capable of steering radio beams electronically without moving any physical parts. By adjusting the timing of signals, the antenna can focus its beam on a specific user on the ground with extreme accuracy. Manufacturing these antennas requires stacking multiple layers of circuit boards with thousands of tiny radio frequency chips working in unison. Managing the heat generated by these powerful antennas is a major challenge, solved by integrating the chassis itself as a heat sink. The satellite must survive the freezing shadow of Earth and the scorching heat of the sun every 90 minutes without failing. Beyond the stack test, individual units are shaken to ensure that not a single soldered joint cracks under the intense launch pressure. Acoustic testing blasts the satellite with sound waves loud enough to kill a human, simulating the roar of the rocket engines. In the anechoic chamber, we ensure the satellite's own radio transmissions do not interfere with its sensitive internal computing electronics. Radiation shielding is installed over the central computer, preventing cosmic rays from flipping bits and causing the system to crash or reboot. Star trackers are the eyes of the satellite, constantly taking pictures of the stars to determine exactly where it is pointing in space. By recognizing star patterns, the satellite knows its orientation with absolute precision, allowing it to point its lasers and antennas correctly. Efficiency extends to waste management. Scrap metal from the cutting process is collected and recycled, reducing the environmental footprint of production. The design is never frozen. Engineers are constantly analyzing data to make the next batch of satellites lighter, stronger, and cheaper. We are already seeing designs for the next generation, which will be larger and more powerful, yet built on these same principles. Before leaving the factory, the batteries are topped up, ensuring the satellite has power to survive the days leading up to launch. Finished units are wrapped in anti-static materials, a final layer of protection as they leave the clean room for the outside world. Trucks transport the satellites to the launch site, where they will meet the rocket that will carry them to their final home. At the launch site, the stack is encapsulated inside the rocket fairing, the protective shell that shields them during the ascent. The synergy between the rocket and the satellite design is unique, as both are often built by the same company for optimization. Ignition and liftoff. The raw materials we saw earlier are now hurtling towards the sky at speeds exceeding 25,000 kilometers per hour. As the first stage falls away, the satellites are exposed to the vacuum of space for the first time, ready for deployment. Back on Earth, the cycle continues. There is no pause for celebration as the next launch window is fast approaching. Mission Control takes over, monitoring the health of the new arrivals and guiding them as they join the existing orbital family. Sustainability is key. These satellites are designed to burn up completely upon re-entry at the end of their life, leaving no debris. This design for demise ensures that we do not pollute the space environment, keeping orbit safe for future generations of explorers. The flat panel satellite represents a paradigm shift, proving that we can mass-produce high-performance spacecraft just like we produce consumer electronics. The use of Krypton propulsion has rewritten the economics of space travel, allowing for affordable maneuvering without relying on scarce resources. Space lasers have turned the vacuum into a fiber optic network, creating a speed of information transfer that was once thought impossible. The Origami solar arrays demonstrate how smart mechanical engineering can pack immense power generation into a package small enough to launch. Ultimately, these manufacturing feats serve a human purpose, connecting the unconnected and bringing the world's knowledge to every remote village. The impact of this factory extends far beyond its walls, touching lives in places that fiber cables and cell towers never reached. From this single building on Earth, a bridge has been built to the sky, paving the way for a multi-planetary future. We salute the brilliant minds and the tireless machines that work in harmony to make this science fiction vision a reality. We have witnessed the chassis, the thrusters, the lasers, the solar arrays, and the stack, a symphony of manufacturing excellence. As we look to the stars, remember that the journey begins here, on the factory floor, with a sheet of metal. Which part of this manufacturing process impressed you the most? Was it the lasers or the ion engines? Let us know. If you enjoyed this deep dive into satellite engineering, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Stay tuned for our next video, where we might explore the giant rockets designed to carry these satellites into orbit. Thank you for spending your time with us. Your curiosity fuels our channel and helps us bring these stories to light. This has been a production by Dark Sky Dive. Keep looking up, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.